Thank you. Awesome. Thank you for having me here. As we close out a decade into the roaring 20s is what I've heard it called. Show of hands, how many of you here have heard of Canada Learning Code or what was Ladies Learning Code? Okay, lots of you. Keep your hands up if you volunteered at all in our programs. Some of you. Okay. Thank you very much. I wanted to highlight you all because a lot of what I'm going to share tonight is very much built on the lessons that we learned through growing our volunteer community. So what I'm going to talk a little bit about is some of the lessons that we've learned or were reinforced, reframed for us in a period that I'm affectionately calling the 5X, which is pretty much a period of time in our history where we grew 5 times team, operating budget, the 5X. When we started in 2011, we had pretty much doubled every single year since then. But at the beginning of 2018, we were just under 7 full-time employees and tens of core volunteers across the country. Fast forward to now, we're just over 50 full-time staff in 13 cities across Canada and hundreds of core volunteers. So it's been a exponential growth for us as an organization. And there are some key lessons that we've learned along the way, some of them from our origins that were just, again, reframed for us, and some of them that were really highlighted in that experience. Some that we may have come to quicker because we were a national charity focused on providing tech learning experiences, in a distributed way. But I think these are lessons that are valuable regardless of whether you're a scale-up or an established company, a non-for-profit or for-profit. So the first one is asking for help. So this one might not be hard for some of you, really, really hard for us as an organization, hard for me as a co-founder of an organization. But we got over that one really, really quickly. As a national charity, we needed to enlist the help of so many people to make our work possible. We still do. But we still got stuck up in this idea of asking for help. When we started in 2011, we decided that for every 4 learners at one of our workshops, we wanted there to be 1 technical volunteer. When you're learning something new, like a coding language, sometimes the syntax or missing a semicolon, it means all of the difference. And so having this technical help means that we can reinforce that it's not that you don't grasp the concepts, but it's just like this small stuff that you're learning. And so we were running workshops, we'd have 10, 20 volunteers. And I remember sitting around thinking, we're never gonna scale this. How in the world are we ever going to find enough individuals who will give up their weekend or their evening to help our community learn? Well, that's the first lesson. We had the language all wrong. We were thinking about volunteering for our work as asking people to give something up, to give up their weekend, to give up their expertise. And it felt really ucky, like we were taking something from someone. And it was through this community and through individuals who really highlighted for us that what's really important about making work happen, making things happen, is really the next piece. And it's about building value in relationships. And so instead of asking someone for help and thinking that you're taking something from them, see it as an opportunity to also give something back to that individual. So for us as mentors, give back to our programs, they have an opportunity to, learn by teaching, to, do something really fun and positive, to network and build professional relationships with other technical folk, in industries and in companies that they're not part of. But what's important is not just framing how you think about asking for help. You can't go around just thinking you're doing favors. You really need to focus on building value in relationships. And so once we learned this, we just started obsessing over it and creating opportunities and understanding what motivated our volunteer community. And then fast forward to the last year, understanding what motivated our team. So this lesson applied just as equally within our HQ staff, our full-time staff as well. Trying to understand what were those things in those relationships, creating that mutuality so that there was value in return. And with that, we were able to engage such amazing perspectives. And then as you make that shift, as you see engaging people's ideas and perspectives and value and asking for help, something really interesting happens in that these amazing ideas come to life and people start taking on such incredible things. And at that point, there was a shift for us, this point where we were starting to get this help of people across the country and our team taking on really exciting projects, and we had to make this next shift, which was about what I say is giving away our Legos. You've got these really amazing people involved in helping. You need to create the space for them to continue to build and to continue to work and to let them run with it. And by doing that, you end up with such incredible end products and solutions, and you end up working on things you never thought you would. And so it's asking for help, it's building value in relationships, it's giving away our Legos that has allowed us to become an organization that's created over 500,000 meaningful learning experiences for people in Canada so they can see themselves as builders and not just consumers of technology. It's because of that we've had tens of thousands of volunteers, learners. We have teams in 30 cities across the country learning to code. It's in that way that we're working on these huge problems, huge opportunities, as all of you are. And it's in this way that we're getting that done together. Like the saying says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And it's by asking for help, building value in relationships, and giving away your Legos and space for people to build that you can make this work happen. So with that, thank you.
Standing ovation.
Oh, okay, standing ovation. And if you want to volunteer, please do.
All right, let's hear that whistle. Where's the whistle in the back? There you go. Here's the second round.
Thank you. Oh.
Questions.
I will answer questions. I was also told I'd be dragged off after 5 minutes, so I crammed a lot in really quickly.
We record everything. We can play back at half.
Hello, Melissa.
Hi.
You're actually the reason why I'm here today. I actually own a childcare facility and agency, and I'm kind of moving into the tech side of it, ed tech. And
Cool.
I'm kind of curious about how I'd get involved in Hamilton, Ontario, with respect to teaching these kids my daycare codes.
Amazing. I'm so glad you asked. We have this amazing initiative called the CodeMobile. We have 14 vehicles across the country that go to classrooms, libraries, community centers completely for free. So CodeMobile, like the Batmobile.ca, request a visit, and we can come visit. Yeah. Same goes for anyone here. Any other questions?
Hi. So you mentioned consuming versus building. So what are some of the more interesting things your students have built, maybe as a side project?
Oh yeah, that's great. We've had such interesting projects. I think the ones that are like the most exciting for me are really just the ideas that come from these young kids, like 5-6-year-olds. Things like, creating awareness over a social cause, maybe, wanting to find a sustainable solution to build like candy out of compost. And for us, it's really about lighting that spark for kids. And so we're starting to see such incredible ideas come out. Just the beginning, we're really focused on early exposure. And over the next couple of years, we can't wait to see what people end up building.
One last question.
Last question.
I'll ask if no one else has one. It's Alex, right in the front.
Oh, okay.
So what's been your biggest challenge growing this organization?
There's a lot. I think a lot of it, there are tons, funding, so that's another one I'll put out there, as we scale and grow, but I think really it's just about what I shared, and like there's so much opportunity. The opportunity is huge, the problem that we're trying to solve is huge, and it's figuring out a way to leverage everyone's perspective to chip away at it. So I think these are for sure some of the lessons that help us do that. Thank you. Thanks everyone.